All right, today we're diving into an absolute classic, Napoleon Hill's incredible 1954 series all about the master key to success. He made this huge promise to anyone willing to listen, and right now we are going to unlock that very promise, piece by piece.
And there it is, right from the man himself. Just think about that for a second. He claims that if you could simply figure out what you want most in life, he could literally hand you the key to get it. I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? But see, this wasn't just some wild claim. He built his entire philosophy on one single foundational law. This right here, this is the bedrock of everything. It's so simple, but it's incredibly profound. And what's so amazing is what it doesn't say. There's nothing in there about needing a fancy degree or a trust fund. He'll love to point to guys like Thomas Edison, who had, 3 months of formal schooling? And yet he became the world's greatest inventor. It just proves it's all about the power of your mind.
So, where did Hill get this from? He didn't just pull it out of thin air. He actually learned the secret behind this whole thing from one of the richest, most successful people on the planet at the time, the industrialist Andrew Carnegie. And Carnegie shared with him the single greatest power any of us control. And this is it. This is the big secret Carnegie passed on. True power, it's not what you think. It's not about money, it's not about status, it's all internal. It's the ability to grab the steering wheel of your own mind and aim it like a laser beam. Because here's the kicker, whatever your mind feeds on, that's what your mind attracts.
Okay, so that's the big idea, but how do you actually use it? I mean, it's great to know you have this power, but if you don't use it, what's the point, right? Well, the very first step, the absolute starting line for any achievement, is to give that mental power a target. You need what he calls a definite major purpose.
Carnegie had this really brilliant way of explaining the choice that we all face. It's a powerful metaphor. He said, imagine that when you're born, you're basically handed two sealed envelopes. And what's inside them depends completely on whether or not you choose to take control of your own mind. Wow. I mean, just look at this. The contrast is night and day. On one side, if you direct your thoughts, you get to open the riches envelope. And notice, this is not just about cash. It's about good health, peace of mind, doing work you actually love. But if you neglect your mind, let it drift, well, you get the penalties envelope. And it's filled with everything we spend our lives trying to avoid. The stakes are like everything. So how do you make sure you open the right envelope? Hill lays it out in 3 super simple, practical steps. First, you have to get absolutely crystal clear on what you want and write it down. Second, decide what you're willing to give for it, because, there's no free lunch. And third, memorize both of those statements and just repeat them over and over, every single day, to burn them deep into your subconscious.
Okay, so you've got your purpose locked in, you're drilling it into your mind daily. So what's next? Well, the next principle is all about multiplication. It's about taking your own personal power and amplifying it, making it way bigger.
And this brings us to his famous mastermind principle. Now, this is way more than just, teamwork makes the dream work. Hill's idea was that when you get 2 or more people perfectly in sync, all aimed at the exact same goal, they create something new, like a third, invisible, superpowered mind that works for them.
And the results of this, they're just unbelievable. You're basically borrowing the brains, the experience, the connections of everyone in the group. Hill used a great example, Henry Ford. He argued Ford's empire really took off because of the mastermind alliance he had with his wife. He had the engineering vision, sure, but she provided that rock-solid faith he needed to keep going. With the right alliance, we're talking about doing in a single year what could take you a whole lifetime to do alone.
Okay, so we've covered mindset and planning. Now we have to talk about action, execution. Because honestly, without this next part, nothing else matters. This is the engine that makes the whole car go. And Hill boiled this law of action down to a beautifully simple formula. He called it the QQMA formula. And it just says that your compensation, your position in life, it's determined by 3 things: the quality of your service, the quantity of your service, plus the mental attitude you have when you do it. That's it.
And when you consistently go the extra mile, when you always deliver more and better service than anyone expects, the payoffs are huge and they're really practical. You become indispensable, you build this incredible self-reliance, and crucially, Hill says it provides the only legitimate reason for ever asking for a promotion or more money. Makes sense, right? If you aren't doing more than you're paid for, why should you get paid more? All right, let's pull this all together. We have a definite purpose, we have the mastermind alliance, and we have the law of going the extra mile. So now it's time to put all the pieces in place and see what this master key really is. First things first, let's be absolutely clear on this. The key is not some physical thing you can find. It's not a secret handshake or a magic word you can say. The secret. It's the very first thing Carnegie taught Hill. The master key is the ability to take possession of your own mind, to consciously direct its incredible power. Just think about that. It is the one thing in the entire universe that you, and only you, have complete and total control over. And this is how it all clicks together. The master key is a controlled mind, a mind that is focused like a laser on that one definite purpose. Then it's supercharged by the energy of a mastermind alliance. And finally, it's put into action by providing superior service. That's the complete system. And really, in the end, it all comes back to this one powerful, empowering idea from Hill. The barriers that you think are holding you back, they aren't out there, they're in here. The only limits that are actually real are the ones you create and accept in your own mind. So there you have it. The principles are laid out, the formula is clear. You literally have the blueprint for the key right now. The only question left, and it's the one that only you can answer, is what door will you choose to unlock?